Welcome my friend, Seven Gray here. Today I'm doing an update video. This is part 2 with Andi and Dorthy. I did a tour of their rig a little over a year ago, and we're at the RTR, the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous in Quartzsite, Arizona today, and they've done significant work to their rig, so I'm going to go through and show you all the updates. I do recommend that you view their other tour video before watching this one. I'll put a link above, and then we'll go through and talk about what's new and what's different this year.
So just after the RTR last year, we spent some time in Blythe, which is where I installed the solar panels. And I have 300 watts on either side, tiltable to the driver's side at 30 or 60 degree angle to accommodate the sun angle for the year-round exposure. I have 4 Trojan batteries, or they're a cheaper line, but they're sort of like the T105s, just the regular lead acid golf cart batteries, 440 amp hours, and I have a total of 600 watts of solar. So on the roof you will see a new addition. I have a chimney up there, which is a wind beater chimney, so it can handle some wind gusts if we get them. And it is attached to a Cubic Mini Grizzly, which is our heating system in the van. On the back end I have a new addition. I added a step ladder that I can climb up on the roof of the van to adjust my solar and clean up, as well as I can take the ladder off and lean it against anywhere that we use. Also have my gym along, extension bar at the top that I can fold out, and I reinforced it so I can hang off it, so I can do my workout and use my suspension trainer. After our visit to the Southwest last year, we realized that heat is very important at night, so we added a wood stove. This is the Cubic Mini Grizzly. It's the larger version. It's mainly designed for marine use, I guess, and it's become quite popular in many van builds now. And it's just your standard wood stove. I added the stainless steel panels around. I wanted my chimney to be straight up. This is the heat shield. So I have a pocket here and there for where I storage my wood, just the way the whole unit ended up being placed. Yeah, so this has become our crown piece. We started out with a porta potty, but it wasn't really the nicest thing to empty, so we got a composting toilet. This is called the Seahead composting toilet, and it works pretty much like all the other composting toilets, except that it has the crank for stirring everything up on the top. Yeah, so I put a shelf together for overhead storage, and the nice thing about a step van is that the walls are all straight, so it made it very easy to get a nice big shelf. Got all my clothing here. On the opposite side is her clothing, and then from there on back we have all our supplies and kitchen materials. Yeah, so this is just a tabletop that I got from IKEA, a butcher's block, which was actually inspired by Giuseppe. And we just slide it open to reveal our refrigerator freezer unit. Freezer and refrigerator. And then because the fridge part was a little deep, I made a little steampunk purse, which gives us a little extra storage capacity on top rather than packing everything down into the deep fridge. Yeah, I didn't like the latches. It was hard to operate, and since the counter slides over, I made up these spring-loaded casters. So as soon as the countertop closes over top of it, it just holds the lid down with a little spring tension. And it has worked very well for us so far. It makes it easy to access the whole thing. We didn't feel comfortable having propane, especially because the countertop slides, so we ended up getting a marine alcohol stove. This is the nomadic 1500 single burner, and it can be used anywhere. It's fully self-contained with its own alcohol supply underneath here. And we're really happy with it. It works very well, and it allows us not to have propane in the van anymore.
So we have 2 additions on the right side of the van. We have a fantastic large size sink and the shower of exactly the same size. What's the size of the sink?
24 inches.
24 inches, but 25. It's exactly the same, except the bottom is much harder, so you can stand on it. We have grid on both sides on the sink as well as the shower to allow us for easy drainage of the water. Now the shower, right now we're packing a lot of stuff in the shower because we don't use the shower that frequently. However, whenever the need arises, we can take off the beddings and the bags that we have here, put around all the shower curtain, confine ourselves, and we have water source right here, as well as additional water source right here, which is for man only. Right, so this is 6 gallons, correct? 3 gallons, and this is a minimalistic shower that we figure it's for $15 is fantastic deal for us. So we got, this is a fertilizer sprayer, this is a regular hose and the garden hose attached to it. We pump it up or set ourselves into the shower, and here we go. In the shower we have some surprises. We not only have the storage, but also we have the laundry fully contained. So we can wash the laundry right here in the sink, and then we put it in the commercial salad spinner. Give it a good spin, and then it's perfectly dry.
So for the wall panels we use the Coroplast, which is a fluted plastic, oftentimes used for making signs. And it's very lightweight, easy to clean. It's just a polypropylene plastic, and it offers a slight little bit of an insulation value because it has a airspace in between it. Was just, again, for the cheapest thing that we could find, and also to keep the weight down. Even with our 1.5 inches of insulation, where we just use the packing foam, which is basically translucent, we still ended up getting enough light through here that we didn't want to close it off entirely. So we got the natural colored Coroplast, which means it doesn't have any pigment in it, and we still get a nice amount of light, daylight through it, so that we keep the inside of the van relatively bright, even without any lighting on during the day. Yeah, so our step van came with a fiberglass roof, which is quite common for the FedEx versions. They usually keep the center aisle open, just so that it is easy access in the back for the courier, the driver, to get the packages out and have enough light in the box. And the fluted Coroplast lend itself quite nicely to keep the light coming in.
Believe it or not, we have actually 4 rooms in this step van. The viewing room, which is right in front of the cabin, the sitting area, the kitchen, and also the bathroom that has full privacy. It works out really well, where Andy can be in the kitchen preparing a meal for me, where I can sit next to the grizzly, comfortably sitting in my own private room and watching the videos on YouTube. Andy said I talk too much, so he decided he's going to put me on the computer, and for that I need power, and in order for me to get power I need to have outlets. So I think he made like 24 outlets everywhere, and charging station. We have them on both sides 3 times, and on the ceilings as well. So wherever I can go, and also it's for him, that he can plug in, charge in, and watch 7 wonders of the world.
I modified the doors a bit. They were really rattly, especially the passenger side door, and it happened right here. So I put a spring-loaded caster just to keep the whole thing pushed out and a little stiffer, and that has worked exceptionally well. So this pad holds the door in place while it is closed, and then as it opens it has free movement. So step vans don't have much auxiliary options. I added a cruise control, basically just using a down tube bicycle shifter, which is attached to the top of the pedal and just pulls it forward. And that really works well. Going down the interstate makes my driving life a lot more comfortable.
Andy, Dorothy, I absolutely love the improvements. Your step van is phenomenal, just incredible. I wish I had your skill, Andy, and your aluminum. As those of you watching the channel know, my own build, I've been greatly challenged that way. Just really incredible things that you've done here. I also wanted to mention that Dorothy has just released a new van life inspired cookbook. So Dorothy, please tell us briefly about your cookbook.
Last year I was extremely inspired by van lifing and how to eat better. I love eating and I love eating well, but I'm also a former physician, so I love eating healthy, and this is the cookbook that gets everything together. Not only healthy, van lifer for one burner or one slow cooker, and eating healthy on the road, and it's also very yummy. You can see it, 69 pleasures, so have fun.
I'll put a link down below in the description. I recommend you check it out. I just got my own copy here, and so I'm going to be working through the recipes here this next year, trying to learn how to cook all these things. That's all I have for this episode. Thank you for watching. Savor the moment, and we'll see you next episode.